You're listening to the RMPodcast, the official podcast of Red Moon Productions. Here are your hosts, Brandon Davidson, Keith Cheatham, and Sean Sebastian. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to yet again another episode of the Red Moon Podcast. Christmas is coming. It's thrown up all over the Red Moon set. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean Sebastian.
And
Gunther
Klaus!
There she is! She's returned from her Klaus hole!
She's back for another year of terror!
Crawled out of the depths to steal the souls of children.
The children.
They look on with the confused look of horror frozen on their faces as they see the joyous Sandy Klaus and think presents and cheer, and then their souls are ripped from their bodies.
The Sandy Klaus.
I never realized her name was Sandy.
As if...
It
as
isn't.
if...
I think it was his accent.
It's the Sandy Klaus comes with his wife, Mrs. Klaus, and they steal the souls as if parents strangling their children in the night.
I thought it was Santa and Sandy.
Well,
Sandy Klaus.
I think it can be. I think that works too, doesn't it? Oh, well, my garland's a little in the
not
way.
Sandy
But-
Klaus. That is
not
the
Sandy Klaus.
evil woman that does his bidding. They crawl from their Klaus holes every year.
It's always the Klaus holes.
If you give them a name, you humanize them. So
The
Yeah,
lies,
that's true.
the lies spread by Hallmark and Coca-Cola. They teach us all the good of the Sandy Klauses, but there's lies.
the worst acting.
Every year.
Coca-Cola.
Hey, it's not the worst acting.
world?
We've got something way better coming up on the show. It's
The
way
lies.
better. Obviously,
the lies.
I just want to give everybody a heads up out there that yes, while we are celebrating. Oh, I just hit the wrong, but I hit the COVID green.
Klaus! She darkens the studio.
COVID green.
Actually, it was the Christmas setting.
Her candle
was it?
steals.
Yeah.
Her candle steals the light like Dumbledore. That's how they darken the alleyways when they steal the souls of the children.
Does that mean Harry's on his way?
When you sit around the tree and the lights go out one by one, here comes Sandy till your soul.
I love it. Our happy 350th episode, kicking off Christmas in the month of December. Beautiful, beautiful.
This year we did a happy Halloween, so we did a little bit of twist for Christmas.
We are.
I think Gunther's getting a little overexcited
He
because
is.
he knows. He knows.
Gunther
that,
knows
Gunther.
what's coming. He's
The-
always
the
vigilant
lies
about
of Saint
warning
Nick
us.
will be revealed this year in our naughty Christmas.
Naughty
So,
Christmas
you can
reviews.
be naughty or nice, and this is all about the naughty Christmas.
These are the naughty Christmas reviews that we're gonna have this year. We've got a slew of good ones.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
well, good Christmas.
Maybe
slates.
we'll see. We'll see.
Exactly.
Some of them might be worth watching.
But I do want to give everybody a forewarning.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're live right now, but we're live to tape. So, everybody out there who's seeing this, we
So we're
recorded
not
this a couple
live
weeks ago.
Right now.
Oh,
No.
That's disappointing.
Isn't that weird? Think about it. We're talking to our future
it's not
or
even
past
fun anymore.
selves.
It's not fun anymore.
We just want to end the show
It's
here.
kind of sad.
Just
We
wanna
had
be
to
done.
we had to kick off Christmas with a pre-recorded episode.
Yeah, it is a little sad, especially like I think this is our most decorated year. I mean, we kind of, like I said, went a little crazy. Got the garland, some Christmas lights.
They'll get to
I
see
do
it
wish
in person live.
Miss Klaus was swaying to and fro.
Well, here's the thing.
Her batteries died.
She only comes around on Christmas week.
She sways with her light candle that steals the light. That's her soul-stealing dance.
She sways back and forth, stealing the souls of children. Mrs. Klaus will hopefully
Everybody
have her
knows
light.
that our show is scripted anyways. I mean,
It's
not,
true.
not structured.
it's not a structured show.
scripted.
It's scripted.
Yeah, but the thing is I left her batteries in all year, and they were the Kroger alkaline batteries.
Those good quality.
Great
Kroger.
quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't corrode.
It's
I'll
like
give them
they're
credit.
called alkaline.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
exactly
brand.
right.
It's like alkaline batteries.
No,
Like,
exactly.
As if there's other.
And they did not hold their charge at all over the year.
No.
So I shouldn't be surprised. But I was
Yeah.
kind of
You need
hoping
to
her
buy
light.
Kroger's lithium batteries.
yeah.
Oh,
Rechargeable
that's where I
batteries.
went wrong.
Though they're
Yeah.
completely environmental friendly. Lithium is.
Right.
Well,
You
yeah,
don't
have to
yeah,
mine
yeah.
When
it or
they
anything.
explode, they only kill you.
But
they
it's-
don't kill other people.
Oh,
It's
okay, like
okay. It's
Samsung
better.
batteries back in
Yes.
the day.
yeah, and Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Lithium. It's good for the environment.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just like this show.
Joe
Perfect
Biden's
for the
got
environment.
stock in it.
Yeah.
He owns stock in
Oh,
lithium.
imagine that. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Funny that he's got stock in that. He should have stock in the Red Moon podcast because we're growing.
That's true.
We're growing at leaps and bounds.
It's about as environmentally friendly as the Klauses are kid friendly.
Yeah.
So true. But no, we do have a great review coming up. We're going to be able to toss to that review because we're going to go see it here in a couple weeks. But because we haven't seen the film yet as of this taping,
Well, we have 2 reviews to be fair.
we do.
We
I'm
have
getting
our
there. I'm
typical
getting there.
Christmas review.
Right. And the thing is we got to throw to our regular review. We won't be able to talk about it. We're going to save that for next week's show when we're live again.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it there. But that is our review of House of Gucci. So before we even get on to our naughty Christmas review, let's get into that first. So here is, yes, our review of Lady Gaga and, oh gosh.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley
Is he
Scott.
good again or is he bad
Well,
again? We don't know.
I was gonna introduce the other star of this film.
There's a couple. Which one?
Well, you got
Adam
Adam Driver and of
Al
course
Pacino.
Al Pacino, but the big one, the biggest one of all.
Oh, I
My
kept
favorite.
forgetting.
You don't know?
I know.
Jared
I just
Leto.
kept forgetting.
There it is.
I know,
there it
because
is.
he's all
said
made
it.
up. It's like, oh, he's a good actor. I'm not
Jared
gonna say
Leto's
he's
a
hot.
real person. He is not made up.
No, he's as made up as the Klauses.
All right.
is
So
mine.
yes, here
All
is
right.
our review of none other than House of Gucci.
Ridley Scott has been making waves of late, with 2 historical dramas released this year, one a medieval piece, The Last Duel, and the other a drama surrounding the Gucci family. More specifically, Patrizia Reggiani and her late ex-husband Maurizio Gucci. Though it is his attitude surrounding the reception of his films that have garnered so much press, more so than the films themselves. One does have to ask if Scott has fallen into the trap of his own ego, or if his detractors are just a case of sour grapes. After having seen House of Gucci, I can unabashedly say it's the former. Starring Lady Gaga as Patrizia Reggiani Gucci and Adam Driver as Maurizio Gucci, with the supporting cast that includes Jeremy Irons and Al Pacino as Maurizio's father Rodolfo and Uncle Aldo, respectively, and Jared Leto as Maurizio's cousin Paulo, House of Gucci is a film about the Gucci family and fashion empire, focusing on Patrizia and Maurizio's relationship and how it affected the company from the time of their meeting until Maurizio's assassination, paid for by Patrizia after their divorce. The real-life story is bizarre and as grandiose as the Gucci name, and Ridley Scott is no stranger to historical filmmaking, often held in high esteem, having made plenty of critically acclaimed and even Academy Award-nominated films such as Black Hawk Down, Gladiator, and American Gangster. But looking through Scott's filmography, one can see that his last decade of filmmaking has mostly been one of misses and mediocrity, and House of Gucci definitely falls into this category. Scott has offered up several F-bombs to critics of his latest film, with many calling him out for a less than accurate depiction of the facts. And in this one instance, I will make my only defense of Scott in House of Gucci. House of Gucci is not 100% accurate, but no historical movie ever is. It's not a documentary, and Hollywood productions will be somewhat embellished for the sake of making events more entertaining. That said, a historical film should at least get the key details right. And for the most part, the key events leading to the downfall of the Gucci family and leading to Maurizio's assassination are there. How the characters thought of each other, the tax evasion, jail time, and inner turmoil in the Gucci family, and the end result of the family losing all ties to the company and Maurizio's murder are more or less represented. The movie checks off each bullet point while embellishing, which is what movies do. Sadly, however, simply checking off the bullet points of key events is all Ridley Scott does with the film. Where the film fails is in the minor details. And in historical filmmaking, the minor details matter just as much as the major events. The film is well made and well acted, with Lady Gaga standing out amongst the cast as Patrizia. But the minor details surrounding her meeting Maurizio, the details around who forged the signature on share certificates, much of Paolo's actual contributions to the company, and the constant in-house war between Aldo, his sons, because he had 3, despite the film only showcasing Paolo, and Maurizio is all left out. No movie can cover all of history, but much of these details make up the interesting parts of the real narrative, and are the driving factors behind these real-life figures' motivations. As is, House of Gucci is kind of a snooze fest. The film begins with some decent character development for Patrizia and Maurizio, but as the movie goes on, every major character becomes a non-entity. Bland caricatures of their real-life counterparts going through the paces as the film checks off each major event in the Gucci story. Meanwhile, leaving out all the details that make these characters real, believable people. Which is a shame, as they were real people, and as stated, the Gucci story is one as grandiose as the name. Without the machinations behind what led to the real events, and no effort to dramatize or embellish what is on the screen, the film plays as a lazy drama with no real purpose. It's the Cliff Notes of filmmaking. You basically know the gist, but you don't care, and you miss the key details that make it such a fascinating story to begin with. Solid acting isn't enough to make a riveting film. You still need story and depth of character, and both are lacking in House of Gucci. Add on top of this that the real events left out are more interesting than what was displayed on film, and it's hard to take Scott's side, no matter how many times he tells his critics to F off. This may be a case of sour grapes, but they all belong to Ridley Scott. I give House of Gucci 2 out of 4 stars.
Damn, that was a good review. I have never heard such a well-written and amazing review. I mean, it was just beautiful. I have no idea what I said.
This one?
Well, thank you, Sean. Yeah. I had to proofread it for him.
I just wanted to toot my own. I have no idea.
No, I was going to say...
This being the pre-recorded show, we haven't actually seen or reviewed.
Well, here's the thing.
House
We've
of Gucci.
never, ever reviewed a film 10 out of 4 stars. That was our first one.
I
absolutely
see,
amazing.
That's how I know you like.
I mean, I was going goo-goo for Gaga. I'm telling you.
I know you're lying now, because I would never give a film 10 out of 4 review. It's got to at least be like 8 3/4. We got to go with the Jacob scale.
Well,
this
one goes to 11.
Oh.
This scale goes to 11.
It is funny that we're doing Naughty Christmas, and this is a movie about a woman who hired a hit on her husband. So
I mean, hey, it fits.
You can't get any
It
naughtier
fits.
than she tried to have.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details. I need to Google. I don't know if he actually died or didn't die. That's bad.
No, he's dead.
He did die, but I don't know if it was because of the hit. Like, I don't know if she succeeded.
It's Ridley Scott, so it's going to be historical.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, what if he pulls a Tarantino?
Oh, and he lives?
And see, you're talking. Why are you talking past tense? You haven't seen the movie. You have by this point.
That's true.
You've seen the film. We just
right
watched the
now.
review.
At this point, we have seen the review. It's very good.
But we're gonna dive deeper next week.
Yeah,
because
we're gonna
our show is completely not scripted.
Yeah. We did this intentionally, just to prove to people.
We're gonna some of our more paranoid listeners are gonna have an aneurysm.
Oh, they don't know what's going on. I don't know if I know what's going on at this point. I'm like, wait, what?
Better yet than
we
to
didn't
just
even get a outline of this week's show like we normally every week. So I told Brandon, I was like, it didn't update. I don't know what we're talking about for Christmas, and he's like, and he said, this is what we're talking about.
All I really care about is the movie that we're really going to go see tonight.
Yes,
which will be.
Well, no, that's 2 weeks ago.
That
was
later.
2 weeks ago. We went and saw.
Y'all have got your timelines mixed up.
It's for a review 2 weeks from now, right?
No. The movie we're seeing tonight is for this coming week.
But I mean, right now, currently, it is November 21st.
No, not to our viewers.
Not to our viewers.
When this airs,
in reality,
this is now airing December 7th.
That's correct.
They will have already seen the review of the movie we're going to see tonight.
That's right. Okay.
That will have already
Did you know that
been in the past.
2 weeks ago was Harold Ramis's birthday, which is tonight while we're recording. It's amazing.
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Now that we've thoroughly confused everyone, I think we should move past.
You can't script this.
I think I understand.
This is horse crap.
I understand Interstellar
completely
better than this.
Like
Such
Arrival.
Intelligently
Arrival
nuanced
level.
dialogue that's been scripted here.
Yeah.
So
well,
I think
just like the movie we're going to review for our first naughty Christmas movie.
Let's get
There
to
we
that.
go.
That'd be great.
Yes, let's
do that.
Please, let's get
do
right
it.
into that. Here is our first naughty Christmas review: Santa's Sleigh.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. I hope everyone has been good this year, because this year's Christmas theme is a naughty Christmas. Everyone knows that Santa makes his list and checks it twice. But is there more than just a lump of coal to worry about when you've not been nice? People love the blending of horror with wholesome, and Christmas is no different. So what happens when St. Nicholas is less of a saint and more like Satan? You get the Goldberg-led Santa's sleigh, and no, we aren't talking about the thing Santa rides through the sky. Directed by David Steinman, a former production assistant whose directorial career would be born and die with Santa's sleigh, the film tells the true story of Santa, a being born of a second immaculate conception between Satan and Jessica. Yeah, don't know who that is. Santa grows to become a demonic force that goes on a killing spree every Christmas until a good angel taking the form of an elderly man challenges Santa to a wager. Losing this wager, Santa is forced to be good for 1,000 years. But now the 1,000 years have ended, and Santa is free to once again slay. Santa's Sleigh is a film that does not take itself too seriously, which is good considering its ridiculous premise. Its opening scene sets the stage for a hilariously self-aware film that is crass but also capable of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's the best scene of the entire film, and then it ends. And we are left with over 70 minutes of film that descends into a mindless act of pointless wasted energy. After a comical and strong start, the rest of the movie never rises past the worst of B-movie tropes. I've seen sci-fi originals with better plots. The movie is truly just a thin excuse to put Goldberg in a Santa suit and have him go on a violent rampage. A prospect that does actually sound fun, and could have been, but unfortunately Santa's killing spree grows tiresome as the kills begin to lack creativity as the movie goes on. And there's no solid story or characters to fall back on. This is not to say Santa's sleigh is never entertaining. Throughout the film, there are little nuggets of gold that capture the self-aware humor present in the film's opening scene. But these rare moments are too little. What we get the majority of the time are main characters we don't care about, a plot that's paper thin, atrocious writing and dialogue, and terrible acting. Most of these things can come together to create charming B-movie kitsch, the type of pulp horror that transcends schlock and is actually witty. There's nothing smart about Santa's Sleigh, however, and instead of acknowledging its silly premise and making a self-aware horror comedy with wit, Steinman takes the laziest route possible and just makes a terrible movie with the excuse that it's supposed to be terrible. In fact, the movie resolves so suddenly with a 78-minute runtime, I almost wonder if Steinman gave up halfway through filming and said, okay, we're ending the movie here, let's go home. Santa's Sleigh is an interesting premise, though Goldberg is clearly the only person on set having fun. Which is a shame, as a sociopathic Goldberg Santa really does sound like the type of movie I would have fun watching. With the right mind behind it, Santa's Sleigh could have become a dark comedy worthy of the season. But instead of being the pleasantly twisted lump of coal under our Christmas tree, Santa's Sleigh is a film lucky to be showcased in a multi-movie DVD pack at the Dollar Tree. I give Santa's Sleigh 1.5 out of 4 stars.
So 1.5 out of 4 stars for the awful, abysmal
The film
lies.
tells lies. I thought Santa's Sleigh would tell the truth of the evil of the Klauses. He's the evil man. The film got that right. The rest lies. Lies. He is not the son of Satan.
Oh, he's not?
That just empowers him and gives him credibility. He's a lesser demon that needs to be stamped out. A plague upon society.
Absolutely, indeed. Just like this movie needs to be stomped out.
Yeah,
Hey, it's
it was not.
45% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, here's the thing, and I told
It
Keith
actually
this after the
started
review. Yeah,
pretty decently.
the first 30 minutes, which is almost literally half the film,
Yeah,
with
it's
the
only
78
a 78-minute. Yeah,
Yeah, the runtime is
Thankfully,
pretty short,
'cause
thankfully.
any longer. And
yeah.
But I was honestly more upset because it really was. It started out clever, and there were a couple. I would say even the way in which Santa kills in the beginning of the film was done well enough that I was like, okay, they're actually putting some thought into this and actually using some of these, tropes of, the holiday theme and Christmas theme.
Yeah.
And of course they do some other cliches throughout and they kind of mock them and make fun of them. But about there's this one point in the movie where he gets to like a strip joint, and from that point on, it's like, okay, now they just don't care anymore. Now it's just like they literally lost interest in actually being clever and how to tell the story. Yeah. They just got lazy. Yeah. And that was I honestly thought, I really did think, I was like, oh, this is actually going to be kind of funny and witty and hilarious. But no, especially with the opening scene.
It really is like David Steinman like got halfway through the movie and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And just gave up. Because like it does have like, it starts out, and in fact, I don't want to spoil too much, but I thought I turned the wrong movie on because it does actually have some bigger name actors at the very opening scene, one of which is James Caan. I will say that. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, Is this
Elf?
I stopped it.
Did I turn on Elf?
I stopped the movie, and then, of course, Santa's Sleigh pops up because I was watching it on Peacock. It's available on there for free, and it has ads if you don't have the premium version, but I was fine with that.
That's also what made it sadly longer for me.
But I'm watching it, and then I pause it, and, of course, it says Santa's Sleigh. It's like, this is the right movie. It's like, I didn't expect any of these actors to be in this movie. And, of course, James Caan does deliver, I think, the funniest line of the movie, and I can't repeat it on camera because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's very un-PC, the line is.
And the whole movie is.
And I laughed, and then after, like you said, once it hits that scene of Santa in the strip joint, it starts losing creativity. Like even the kills are just generic.
Yes.
The plot goes it really does. Like at the end of the movie, it's like he's just tired of making the movie and just wraps it up. They run to like this crowd of hunters. I was
going to say, even how they get from point A to point B throughout the film, at first kind of makes sense as to how he's stringing along and telling the story of this legend and why Santa's evil, and there's kind of at least some cohesiveness to the characters and why we're watching them. Yeah. But then it starts to take a left turn into, okay, well now Santa's hunting them down, but now he's just doing it to everybody. They don't even have like a scene where he's on Christmas night dropping down and causing terror to families.
Once they set up that he's really this evil being that's only been good because he lost a bet for 1,000 years, and like now that the 1,000 years is up, he can go back to killing people. It's like once they've set that point, it's like, okay, they do nothing creative from there on. It's like, okay, now we've given a reason for why Santa can go around killing people, and that's all we're going to do is have him chase this one specific boy for there is a reason why he chases this one kid throughout most of the movie, but even still, like you said, you don't really get a lot of
even that too. The plot points are contrived; they're forced. They're just ultimately you can even start to piece it together yourself without having to pay.
Well, they even
too much close
when
attention.
They're going over the legend of who Santa really is. That bunch I mentioned in the review of like this second immaculate conception between Satan and some random woman named Jessica. It's like even when they're doing that, they have this really cool like stop motion animation.
I love that
of like how Santa came to be, and it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Now they're making fun of just that type of Christmas special with the stop motion, and it's done in a twisted way of like the second immaculate conception making Santa basically an antichrist because the original immaculate conception obviously being Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so Santa is basically the antichrist. He loses this wager with an angel and he has to be good for 1,000 years, but now he can be his true evil self again. And it was a really creative setup. But then after that, we're just like, it was like the directors, he didn't know what to do with the movie from there. And he's like, all right, well now, he's like, we spent 45 minutes setting everything up. So now I'm going to spend 20 minutes just ending the movie.
Yeah,
it's like
when they sat down to like discuss the writing, they were like, okay, so let's do kind of a quick overrun, and it's like, they get that first part, and then it's just like, what happens after that? Come up with something.
It's like they beat him.
That's really. I was gonna say, and it's just like, well, they're kids. They go to high school. Let's end it at a school.
Like,
they go to school. And also, I don't know. Maybe there are high schools that have hockey rinks up north. I don't know. But it's just funny because I'm like, they also make this whole deal out of this hockey rink scene.
Oh yeah, they bring back, and I don't want to spoil the twist.
Well, they even have.
Really
I will even say they have like
the angel.
Yeah.
And it's a pointless scene. It's like they do this second, like, well, we're going to play, and this time you have to be good forever if I win. And it just, I don't want to spoil anything, way in which it's pointless.
Oh, they play hockey?
No.
It's like ice curling. But it's cornhole mixed with curling. They throw their little puck, and whoever gets closest to the hole without going in wins, but you can knock the other players into the hole.
It's been at least 15 years since
I know you told us about this movie a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I actually saw it. Like, I think it's
It came out
2004
like
or 5.
2005 is when it came out.
Yeah, it was 5. Oh,
yeah.
5?
That sounds
Back
about right.
then? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Which is funny, actually.
Which I only
one of the
watched
bigger
it because it was somebody was like, "Do you know Goldberg was in a movie about Santa
It
Claus?"
was,
And
I
was
think
like,
it was a WWE production, which
No, Goldberg's not WWE. He wasn't at that point.
he wasn't at that
WCW.
point.
Well, he was.
But-
Never mind. They had bought out WCW.
Yeah.
And he was a property, but he wasn't in the game. And I don't think WWE made this film. They don't think they had any claim to fame to it.
Oh, they might not. They started producing
'Cause-
movies around.
Are there
then.
any
Yeah,
other
but-
wrestlers in the movie?
No.
Then
no.
it wasn't. Yeah,
But
they
even
always
John Cena
utilize-
was in the Marine, and there weren't any wrestlers. But
Yeah.
and even with Batista, but they're pretty clear about what they produce.
They usually slap their label right
And-
on
yeah.
there. So yeah,
and it's nothing that
Um,
campy. They
they
yeah, he
have
was-
had some.
he was-
they've had some, but
Yeah.
usually, they're just bad. They're not even like trying to go the campy
But-
route. But here's the thing:
He
even
does-
Goldberg, like you said in the review, it's like at least he is embracing the
Yes,
crazy
you can
part
tell
of
he's
it.
having fun. He chews the
Yeah.
scenery, and I'm like, honestly, you take him out of like you put someone better in the director and writer's reign, and I think it could have been a fun movie because I mean Goldberg is like just perfectly deranged in the movie. Like you could tell, he's
I
like
mean, he
he's
does
like,
good
yeah.
in it. Yeah.
you could tell he's having fun and like he's doing what like I'm going to be this horrible campy character, but it works. And the rest of the film lacks that because the rest of the actors are terrible. Even Emily DeRaven, who. It's funny because I'm watching this movie thinking, okay, she's both doing really great acting and horrible acting in the sense that she has a natural thick Australian accent. She has an American accent in this movie, and it's a good accent. In fact, she's been praised for her English accent in the past. So I'm like, it's funny that she can put on this good English accent, which means she's being a good actress, yet her emotions and mannerisms and everything in the movie is terrible.
They are.
So it's
and I will say, and this is also weird to
she put in enough effort to give a good accent, but not enough effort to actually be a believable person.
But it's also weird too because this is juxtaposed right around the time that Lost is booming at this point. I mean, you're talking 04, 05. Lost is at its height in terms of its popularity, and she's a major character in that show. So it's like we've seen the best acting she could do. Maybe this was filmed after the first season because I forget when the first season of Lost came
her
out.
accent in Lost was fake because she had done a movie before Lost with an English accent.
Right.
That was kind of her springboard before Lost.
Oh, really?
And everybody saw her in that. So when Lost came on, they were like, why does she have they thought she was doing a fake accent in Lost, and that's actually her real accent.
But it's
that's how
it's interesting
convincing
because
her English accent was.
whether this was her thinking that this was going to be her launch into movie fandom and stardom.
Well, this would have been after, I think, yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe this was hoping she, obviously Lost came first. So I don't know. I don't know her entire filmography, but I do know that this was after Lost was already out, and she was huge in that show.
Oh, yeah.
And so it kind of makes me wonder, like, was she just doing this as like just to get a paycheck? Was she doing it because she genuinely thought, oh, I'm doing this favor for somebody on production that I know,
Yeah.
or I'm just trying to get a credit
it
for
was
a movie?
time before she had real because it still would have been.
That's what I'm saying. It was before she was a household name.
Yeah.
And even now,
It
she
would have
wouldn't
been,
really
like,
be household,
probably-
but she would at least be known.
If 2005, you would think this was filming around the time the first season of Lost came out because that came out 2004. So it's like she really hadn't.
She was in a movie called Brick. In
Brick
2005.
is the one that she got praised for her.
See,
English
and that's what I'm
accent.
thinking.
The Hills Have Eyes, so it's not her.
yeah.
That was in 06, so it's
Yeah.
not her first.
No, it's not her first movie role. I think it's just still early enough in her career that didn't
She
have
was
enough
seeing.
clout to.
I was gonna say she was taking any job she could get, and honestly, I think, and no offense to her, she does well for what the movie is. But I could sense, like you said, Keith, it was almost as if there's a little bit of this from all the actors involved. Of we know what this movie is, and we can't take it too seriously. And there was part of me that was like, okay, in the beginning, great, loved it, they embraced that. Then you get to the end, or at least halfway through, and it's like, no, they totally disregarded the tongue-in-cheek nature, and they just got lazy.
If you look at other movies with these huge, I mean, obviously this movie doesn't have a huge cast, and it doesn't have a cast of well-known actors. But if you look at a movie like Mars Attacks, like everybody knew. They knew what that movie was going to be. They knew it's Tim Burton, but they had to have read it, and they know this is a stupid movie.
But
every actor in that movie gives it their best.
Yep.
And you've got freaking Jack Nicholson, you've got Pierce Brosnan, you've got Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Like there's so many big names in there, and they all do this all-out, effort for this movie that's basically just
It's
a
ridiculous.
cult classic. Yeah, it's just stupid.
But it's funny,
again,
and it's
like-
remembered as a cult classic because it works.
Yeah,
Whereas
it does. Yeah,
Santa's Sleigh,
right.
it doesn't have
If,
that
if
same.
they wouldn't have phoned it in,
Yeah.
it could have been one of
That-
those movies.
And honestly, I think they wouldn't have phoned it in if they had seen the love and care and devotion throughout the entirety of,
Well, if
of
they had,
the
I
film.
think, a better director. That
Yeah.
you look at the opening.
That's
scene,
exactly right. Yeah.
The opening
and
scene
writer.
sets a writer. Yes, it sets a tone that the movie never delivers on. The rest of the actors, the actual bigger names in the opening scene, like James Caan, that they have a
Con.
Con.
I said Con the first
It's
time
okay.
and Caan this
You
time.
did,
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah. It's one of those things where they deliver that type of acting that is, they know it's tongue in cheek and dumb, but they're doing it seriously. Therefore, it's believable. Whereas the rest of the film doesn't have that same level of acting. And you could tell it's like, we could only pay these guys for that opening scene. The rest of the movie, we're going to pay the no-name
Oh, well,
actors.
yeah. And honestly, but I was okay with that because, again,
Yeah, well, it's set up
it
a
had
good, funny
exactly. And the whole point of that scene is to settle you into not having your expectations subverted by thinking, how are these people in this movie? They're actually A-list actors or they're well known. And then, of course, because back then I could see people thinking that. And then when it starts and you're thinking, oh, okay, yeah, clearly that was just for the beginning, but it was enough to establish, oh, let's see what else has to come.
You know who does...
And it's up to the rest of the film to lead you down that path and lead you to something that is worthwhile.
A
And
movie
this
that
just
does a great
sadly
setup
isn't.
like that and follows through the whole way is The Other Guys, where you have Samuel L.
Yes,
Jackson and
yes,
The Rock,
yes.
and you're
Yep.
following The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson thinking, oh, they're going to be these important major characters.
Yep.
And
So
then-
good.
And
And
it's
they
so
jump
well
off a
done,
building
and
and
it's hilarious. It's so well done.
Yeah.
This movie has that kind of setup.
Let's go for those bushes.
Yes.
And there are no bushes.
There are no bushes.
I love that.
This movie has that kind of setup, but then after the setup, there's no
Yeah.
delivery.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but that's Santa's Sleigh. It's if you're bored and you have nothing better to do and you want to see Bill Goldberg,
Well, you know what?
running around as
And there's
Santa, I mean,
plenty
it's
of there's
funny.
plenty of movies like this. In fact,
I would say we
have
got-
several others that
We're going to review them
Yeah.
the rest of the season. So.
Exactly. We got plenty of more naughty Christmas movies on the
know,
way. Gingerbread Man with Gary Busey.
I have seen that.
We're doing that one.
We watched that at the lake one year.
Krampus.
We're going to do
Krampus.
Krampus. We haven't picked the fourth one, but
What
we
about
are.
fourth
come on,
one we're
Jack
waiting.
Frost, please.
We could.
Jack Frost
Is that-
so good.
It is another horror black.
Is that with Keaton?
No,
No, that's a different Jack
That's
Frost.
Oh,
a
okay.
family film. This
Yeah.
Jack Frost is
This
more
is-
famous and has been around
yeah.
longer.
Let's
There's
do that
actually
one.
two of them.
It's-
There's
Let's
Jack
do
I
it
think
right
there's
here.
three,
Let's make a
actually.
Is there
decision.
three?
There's one where he's on a tropical island. It's hilarious. It's this killer snowman on a tropical,
Tropical Island. Oh
Yes.
my god.
I think that's
Olaf.
the third one. Yeah, I don't.
Olaf.
remember.
Got
So
this
yeah,
little
there we
island.
go. Because I mean, we're kind of doing these
Let's do it.
horror comedies.
Yeah,
so
Jack Frost is
which
good.
one are we going to do?
Let's do
next?
it. Let's do it in that order. Gingerbread Man is next,
Okay.
and then we'll do Krampus.
Gary Busey.
Yep. And then for the
Gingerbread
week
Man is so
after,
bad.
I guess after Christmas, because
Well,
there's
we-
only
okay.
3 weeks.
So we'll
before
do
Christmas.
Krampus for Christmas. We'll do that one for Christmas, and then the week after Jack Frost. That works since Krampus is kind of the more notable of all the ones that's actually a legitimate.
Yeah, well,
quality.
and we'll see.
I don't know how good. I haven't seen any of these. I can't say Krampus is a better film. I'm just saying, as far as production goes, it was actually more of a.
I just have a
bigger
feeling-
We
production.
watched the Gingerbread Man at the lake, but I
don't
don't think
remember
any
that
of us
at
were
all.
in the shape to actually. I know I've seen it. It's Troll 2 level. It's
That's
bad.
great. I mean, it's Gary
Oh, I
Busey. I
can't
don't
wait.
care.
I'll say this: I don't think there's anything right now
gotta do
on
it-
our slate
horror
that will
Christmas
top
comedies.
Gary Busey.
No,
for me.
no.
It just won't. I mean,
No.
that's gonna be
It
great.
could, Krampus could be a legitimate, funny, good movie, and it still probably
I'm
won't
pretty
be as
sure the
enjoyable
Gingerbread
as-
Man has
as
like
Gary
buck
Busey.
teeth, just like Gary Busey.
Oh, it does. It looks like. I
Yeah.
pulled up a photo. I sent Brandon a
Gary
picture,
Busey.
and I was like, I mean, he's got a face that looks like Gary Busey.
horse.
I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
can't
made
wait.
by the same people that made the Puppet Master movies. That tells me it's going to be great.
Hey,
So-
no, hey, Puppet Master 1 and 2 were pretty
Those
good.
no. The first, I think the first three Puppet Masters are legitimately good movies, but
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna review Gingerbread Man next week.
yeah.
That's our next one.
All right.
Back when
Well,
we're live.
Why don't we move right along?
But we got the rest of this show, the rest of our Christmas season kickoff.
yeah,
Christmas, everybody loves Christmas.
we're having a naughty Christmas. So what's next?
Our headlines are next, so
I
let's
know.
roll that open.
Yuletide. It's a Yuletide show. Yuletide.
Who comes up with words like that? Yuletide. Like,
It's the tide of Yules.
I understand that. Yule log. I'm like, what's
Yule? It's like
what's
a year.
Yule? Is it a
Yule?
Yule? So it's a year log?
A year, yeah.
A year
A
tide?
whole year. I don't know.
He's making this.
I'm
up.
making this up. I don't know, but I know it has some kind of essence in history.
What's in our headlines this week? Were
I
we
don't-
psychic? Did we know things ahead of time?
We make ourselves look idiots. What's a Yule log? Now I want to know. I want to know.
Well,
Can we look
yeah,
up a Yule log?
He's going to Google that
I'll
while
Google
you
Yule
introduce the
log.
headline.
Okay, and where it comes from. I just want to know. But I'll introduce our headline.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting a little bit, I want to say personal, but personal for our show here. I just, we never really take a moment to spotlight.
I got it.
So the Yule begins December 21st. So I didn't
So
know
it
that.
must be an annual thing then.
Yeah.
And what is that? Where does that come from, though? What culture?
Yuletide is the Christmas season. It says families gathering at Yuletide come. Okay, blah blah blah.
Where does it? Yeah, I just want to know the.
It's a European thing.
Yep, you read the Yule log. Get
So
for
it
it.
says the Yule log, Yule clog, or Christmas block. That's the American version.
I like Christmas.
Is
block.
a specially selected log burnt on the hearth as a Christmas tradition in regions of Europe.
Huh. That's really nice.
Hmm.
So
we
if
just
you don't have a fireplace, you just don't get to participate in that.
It says, Yule is a festival historically observed by the Germanic peoples. Scholars have connected the original celebrations of Yule to the wild hut, the god Odin, and the pagan Anglo-Saxon Madranat, whatever, Madranat, later departing from its pagan roots. So it was a Germanic holiday around Christmas that they've kind of
incorporated into the.
But apparently the Yule starts on December 21st and ends January 1st.
Okay.
So that whole is Yule.
That's
is
longer
Yuletide.
than that's longer than 12 days.
That whole thing is the Yule. So now we know.
Okay.
Yule.
Is it kind of like what does Hanukkah start?
It's nothing like Hanukkah.
I know it doesn't have anything to do with Hanukkah. I'm just saying, when does Hanukkah start? Because it's always in the same year. I think that's even
Same
why.
year. It's
I'm
always-
sorry,
yeah.
same season. My bad.
Hanukkah only happens the same year as Christmas.
But I think that's why they ended up moving Christmas to December, was to coincide with like the Hanukkah holiday
starts
and other
before
holidays.
Christmas. I think it starts.
It does.
It starts in after Thanksgiving.
No, it doesn't. It's not that early.
Yeah, Sunday, November 28th. Boom,
Wow,
Hanukkah.
are you serious?
Yeah, and it ends
Seven-
December 6th.
Okay, so it is. It's 7 days.
Yeah,
It's
eight.
a week. Or 8 days.
8 days.
Duh. Gosh. I didn't watch enough Adam Sandler.
Wow.
Should have
It's
watched-
8 Crazy Nights.
I know this from Rugrats. all the holiday specials Rugrats had, great. The Passover
Fantastic.
episode,
That's
amazing.
true. That was a good
According to Wikipedia, which who knows how true that is.
Well, it's the internet. It definitely
it
is
says
true.
that
8 crazy nights.
the fact that we
That's what I just
usually
said.
have a Christmas ham comes from the Yule boar, which was that's where the tradition was
the
originally
hunt,
started.
the German hunt. Yeah,
They would do a Yule
Okay.
log, a Yule goat, a Yule boar,
Huh.
and that's reflected in the Christmas ham, Yule singing, and others.
I love this.
Isn't that cool?
I love this.
Pre-Christian history.
Well, I was going to
and
say
traditions rooted in paganism. That's what the whole show should be about.
it should. Well, I mean, here's the thing: keeping the Christmas spirit alive.
That's the reason for the season.
People will know their pagan origins as they rip the souls of their infants.
That's I'm beginning to believe that maybe Santa Claus was
He
evil.
was.
I think
And that maybe we just took
Gunther
it as
knows.
Christians. We took it and made it
We
good.
tried.
It's like the Christmas tree. That was
Yeah,
that
was
was
a
people
pagan.
worshiping a tree.
That was a
like
pagan
it was a
tradition.
it was a pagan
Yeah.
tradition. That's why they would kneel down in front of the tree.
But that's the
and
thing.
present
You end
sacrifices.
up creating
That's
your
why we
own
kneel down and
traditions
put
around.
presents under it.
But that's why we have to keep the Christmas spirit alive, and we have to not let it die.
That's what good Christians do.
That's
We
what we
take
do.
things
we
and
take
we say,
take
no.
the evil stuff and we make it good again.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
We
right.
purify.
Just like God does.
boom.
Boom.
He makes all things new.
Wow.
Mic dropped.
There it is.
There it is.
Love it.
Moving on.
All right, let's move on to our headline this week. Write in if you know about if you're going to celebrate with a Yule log or a Yule boar.
He doesn't even know what to say now.
I just want to know. It's like, people.
Do you celebrate?
Everybody says
Christmas?
it. Auld
Yule?
Lang Syne and the Yule
That's something
tide.
different.
I know, but
The
I'm
only
just
Yule
saying.
log
Let's not
that
get
I
into
have
anxiety,
is
too.
after Christmas dinner.
What?
I said that's the
It
only
starts-
Yule log
I
I,
told you.
have is after Christmas
See, it
dinner.
starts after Thanksgiving. You have
That's
that
when it
Thanksgiving.
comes.
You have that Thanksgiving dinner and you bake your Yule log.
And then after Christmas dinner, the Yule log comes
Comes.
out and stops up the toilet at your in-laws' house.
Yeah.
Well, what did that one
God bless us,
saying
everyone.
on the back of the toilet say?
It said,
You sent us that
harvest time.
Harvest time. It's from the Yule log. You
Yeah.
got to harvest that Yule feast.
Harvest that Yule log.
All right, let's move on.
Let's get into
move
the
on.
headlines.
Gosh sakes, we are idiots. Okay.
Scripted.
Scripted. Our headline for this
someone
week.
wrote all of that.
What is your Red Moon Christmas wish? That is what we're talking about. It could be with regards to the show. It could be with regards to your own personal life. But we hardly ever take time on the show to just discuss our own personal issues. I mean, we do every week on the Unique Weekly segment.
Yeah.
But it usually
My
has a
Christmas
very specific
wish
subject.
Is for someone other than Jim Cramer to write and script our show because we're getting a little stale. A little stale. We
A
need
little,
someone better.
just a little bit. But
we don't
seriously.
know crap about what we're talking about.
No, we
Because
don't.
we don't have skin in the game.
I love it.
All right, come on. What are your all's
No,
Christmas
I
wishes?
got to think because I'm a simple person. Everybody asks like these. I don't have deep introspective thoughts. I just sit on the couch.
Deep thoughts.
And no,
Do you not have plans?
Sit around and watch Santa's sleigh
Those
all day.
plans aren't my Christmas wishes.
Well,
Those
of
are just
course.
my plans.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But sometimes
Yeah.
your wishes become plans because you want them to succeed and you want them to come true.
My
So,
Christmas
I
wish
just don't.
is that 2022 becomes the year that Red Moon delivers upon
That's-
so many promises.
Very vague, but I was
2022,
going to reiterate that.
We need at least one audio drama and one film. We'll see if it happens.
That's actually what I was.
I think I'm putting the bar pretty low because we already
if
have
gay,
one
if
audio
gay
drama
marriage
written.
was legal,
Yeah.
we would get married, Keith and I.
One film, one audio
Did you
drama.
say if it
I think
was
that's a low
legal?
bar.
It's like you're there.
It's not legal in Kentucky.
It's not.
It is. It's
Oh,
Yes,
has
it
it been
is.
legalized in
Oh,
Kentucky?
Yeah, for
I
years.
just surprised them.
I didn't think it had been legalized in
Oh,
It's,
Kentucky.
it's
yeah.
nationally
It's-
legal.
yeah.
It's recognized by the federal government that it's technically legal anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now,
Except
man.
Florida. No, it's definitely Miami. Yeah.
Anyways, it was a joke, but I was actually going to say the same thing.
You all should be married.
My hope is that, yes, we have at least one audio drama. Here's the thing. I have way more
We
planned.
could have two.
We could.
We could.
It would be nice.
We have one written.
Yeah,
Oh, we could.
it's
I
One,
mean,
it's
one's
been
been
written.
written
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
And so
maybe
it's like
we have close to two.
Here's the thing.
Maybe.
I actually want to expand a lot more in terms of I do at least want to produce and create one film. Not feature length, not short film, just a film.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Of any kind. And I just it's been so long since I've been out of the game. You know, we have all this fancy, nice
We gotta get our
equipment.
skin back in the game.
That's what
we
I'm
need.
saying.
I know it.
It's truly. And so that, along with an audio drama, would be my wish for next year.
Audio
However,
drama, a film, and maybe
We need
a
to get,
new segment for the show.
We need to get
had
some
a couple
funding
of those
from
ideas.
Stacy Spark. Stacy Spark could maybe fund us.
who is Stacy Spark?
That's the
She's
the
this
woman.
woman,
I mean,
yeah.
the man that bought Movie Pass.
Movie
Oh,
pass, yeah.
Yeah, the woman. Yeah, that's right. Gosh sakes. Anyways,
No, I do. I'd being serious though. I'd like obviously the audio drama that's already written to be produced, a show, but then maybe, like I said, a segment. We've talked about a few different segments. Hopefully, we can get one of those worked out for the podcast.
that's
We'll see.
yeah.
We have, and people all, of course, when you hear the same thing, it's like George R.R. Martin with the 6th Game of Thrones novel. It's like, so I'm gonna finish it. I
That's
promise,
honestly
I promise.
how it felt
And
for a long time, Mal.
So people hear
It
us,
really
and
is.
it's like we do have plans, and we could say this all day long.
Well,
but it's
I
time
think
to prove
to
it.
be fair, people see us on here once a week, but they don't see what we're doing the other, the other 6 days of the week.
But again,
it's working
after
and
several years of
family
saying
and
we're
everything.
working
Yeah,
on it,
it's difficult.
People don't
Yeah.
believe you. It's like people don't believe George R.R. Martin's ever going to finish those books. You have to prove it for people to believe you. You
I
gotta put your money
understand.
where your mouth is.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's 2022 is going to be the year for Red Moon to prove it.
Damn, he's putting it on the
putting it on the
spot.
spot.
He is putting
I want
it down
it.
in the sand.
I want it. That's
drawing that line.
One of my
I
Christmas
agree.
wishes. One of my Christmas wishes.
I agree.
Yeah, mine's world peace, but I mean, I don't want to set the bar real high.
All right, Greta
Yeah,
Thunberg,
but-
come on. Now.
I'm setting realistic expectations. We're not going to have.
No, there's
you
never
know,
going to be world peace. Well,
you
there will
know.
be.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah,
One day.
One day.
One day.
That's
The
right.
season we're in.
When,
No.
when the Klauses
I
are
would say
driven back into their
I
holes.
agree with everything you said regarding Red Moon. Beyond Red Moon, I would like for 2022 to be a return to normality, in our country.
I don't think that's happening either.
I think 2024 is when it will happen. But 2022 will at least get some of it started.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't
red wave.
I don't want to get too political, but I will say even just for purchasing new equipment, I really hope it gets back to normal.
Like our economy.
Christmas this year has been, first of all, finding the stuff that we want to buy our children
is awful.
It sucks. Finding it sucks.
Affording it is twice as awful.
Affording it, when you do find it, sucks even more. Let me just tell you.
Even just groceries, because I mean, planning stuff for Thanksgiving and like different things that different family members are going to make to bring to it. Like, I mean, just going grocery shopping. I'm like, the raise we've all received a raise at our jobs this year, and it's like literally
it's really was a cost of living raise.
It was. It has done nothing.
How much inflation has increased?
Food, even just things that I normally buy to be cheap. It's like. Yep. It's not even like even Kroger brand, Walmart brand. That stuff's not even cheap anymore.
Nope.
I was just like, I can't hardly afford to eat, let alone, and I'm fat. You know, I got to buy a lot of food. No,
you gotta eat, man.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, the inflation's bad, and I do hope next year and beyond this gets better. That gas prices, electric and water and groceries, all of it comes down because it's hard right now.
It is.
It is extremely hard. And honestly, that's kind of why it's like I'm not going to make excuses for why we haven't worked on certain things. It's been it's been a year of just getting
Red
into.
Moon's ran off of a $0 income for a while now. We can't use the economy.
It ain't been $0. It's been negative. It's been in the red.
Using the economy as an excuse now is kind of like
It's like that 4-year-old computer there still being paid. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's like I do think that. It's part of it has been building up. I think for me, one of my biggest wishes is building an actual schedule that I can stick to. But also, I'm a creature of habit. I know a lot of people would call themselves that, but then they don't put in healthy habits, and that's especially for me. That's definitely an issue that I've had in terms of just even, and it's not just. I mean, it could be health wise. It could be spiritually, just not putting in the right kind of habits. But I would ultimately say too, for Red Moon, it's like we get certain things like this podcast and even certain segments, going. It was funny because last week's episode, and yes, I'm referring to last week in terms of when this one airs.
Yeah.
So last week's episode was a rerun of our 300th episode. And it included the Death Nut Challenge,
which was so
and
much fun.
I just remember editing that, and it was a little bit of a to try to cram it together based on when we actually filmed it, and then when we had to have it ready for the following week's show, it was a little tough. But it just as I was watching it back, it just made me realize how much fun it was to not only I didn't really partake in the actual challenge.
You never partake in any
that's
of
one of my wishes for
fun
2022 is that you actually partake.
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
that ain't happening. Not if it involves.
I won't promise anything, but we have discussed having a little bit of a naughty Christmas sweet challenge on here. Your brother-in-law Jeff made some. He grows hot peppers, reapers, and habaneros, and he made some candy out.
He
of
has the same
them, so.
taste buds as you all, and loves to test them as hot as they can get.
I'm still willing to do that if we can get some candy and do it on the show, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
But the thing is it's like for looking ahead,
I think you should eat one of the habanero candies.
Not happening.
Oh, come on. That's not even
habaneros lightweight.
Yeah.
Nope. But for you all, I'm worse
That
than a
ain't
lightweight.
nothing.
I'm a pansy. I'm telling you, I'm not doing
You
it.
can do habanero.
Nope. The devil's spit. That was the worst I've ever had.
Habanero's not even as bad as devil's spit.
I don't believe you.
But it's true.
I don't trust. I don't. When it comes to anything,
I don't believe you. It's I don't trust you.
I don't. Anything.
Habanero's just a step
When I
above
ask
the jalapeno,
Keith,
man.
how is this hot, and he goes, no. I'm like,
Keith's
if Keith
His
even
taste
says
buds are burnt,
the moment
then
he's
no.
like, there's a little bit of heat.
I knew.
I immediately think this would kill me. That's what I think.
To be fair, I knew how hot devil's spit was. I just wanted to see you eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't burn me, but the fact that I knew I could keep a straight face.
I couldn't talk
it
for 2
convinced you.
minutes.
Like, I ate it, and I was like, no, it's not bad, because I knew that it would
I
kill
want
me.
to try it now.
Yeah, it's
It's fun. It's not as bad.
See,
It's
that's
a hot.
It's a
that's
hot
a-
sauce though.
Yes.
yeah.
See, I'm just not a hot sauce. there's too much vinegar.
Well, it's not a vinegary because some
It's
hot
not-
sauces have different flavors and
I hate
aren't.
that
Yeah.
vinegary.
It's
hot
not
sauce.
vinegary. It's more just it tastes more like just kind of pure cayenne, honestly. So it don't have much of a flavor, but it's not as hot.
You don't have an
as-
ulcer after this, you will.
You will.
It's
I'm
nowhere
telling
near
you.
as hot as the Reaper pepper or the nuts we ate. So
okay. Yeah, those nuts.
Yeah, he would, if he thought the devil spit
The
was
nuts we
bad,
ate.
there's no
But
way.
see,
he could,
okay,
he
and
could
even
handle
even
nuts.
apart from like the death nut challenge, and even when we did the, I know it was my next door neighbor
I'm gonna
Brian's
vibrate through the wall here in a
chiropractor
minute.
who wanted to do the Pacquiao chip challenge, which is old by now.
Oh, yeah,
standards,
yeah, I've
even
done
though
that.
they refresh it.
They refresh it every
But
year.
the thing is I ultimately want to think of other things. I know we've had other ideas of interviewing people after they come out of movies, and of course we'd have to get a theater or permission, and there's a lot of different dominoes and that have to make some things like that happen. But even like doing trailer reviews, or even little short skits that maybe are SNL type skits that we could do before a show, or even have prepared before a show, but aren't a full feature length movie or a short film.
Yeah.
Just little things that keep our creativity not only on high, but also it keeps us nimble. It keeps us thinking about what is coming next, and also gives other people who watch and tune into us, if they enjoy what they see here on a weekly basis, then they're going to enjoy it even more when we start adding those little pieces of flavor. And I just look forward to doing more stuff like that, not just tied down to this room or, everything we do here on Tuesday, but adding, promotion to the other things that we've always dreamt of and wanted to do that this show would represent.
Well, even like you said, forming the good habits, because that would be another Christmas wish of mine in both my personal life and in Red Moon related stuff, is that there's definitely. It's funny because it's kind of been the last couple years coinciding with me moving in my house and then leaving my one job that had been a stable job for about 6 years and going to the building job I had that like constructing display stuff and bikes and stuff that was a crap show, and then going to where I am now, just that
Getting
turbulence,
stability.
jumping from place to place, and on top of that having to try to maintain my home, being like a single homeowner and being creative with writing and doing the show and just so many different things that thrown into this like kind of new world and learning to balance it out. I've gotten a more groove of, especially working from home now, like what I do around the house, what I do for work, what I do for the show. And I definitely want to be more disciplined in, one, taking care of myself. I did really well for a while, like right after my heart attack, and then with the other stuff, not so much, especially this year. So I want to go back into focusing on myself, focusing on getting more things written for Red Moon, and just learning that balancing act, because that's really what it is having to balance your personal life with your work life and with the aspirations you may have for something like Red Moon. So I've definitely felt like, especially in the last couple months, I've been
I was
better
gonna say,
about that.
just to reiterate what Sean said. I mean, it's like, and I get it. Trust me. I mean, our dream, I think, in this room, if we could really just snap our fingers and make it happen, would be that if we had enough income from this, it would be to even make the show a daily show where we do a daily hour. This would be our 9 to 5. And then we could
We
still
made money off it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, it would be, if that ever came down the pike where it was like, hey guys, actually we have enough of a following, we have enough people who are tuning in week to week that we can actually make revenue off this, and we can actually make this a 9 to 5 gig.
Yep.
And this would be, not only a dream, I think, for all of us, but then it'd be like, okay, well, now we actually have an exorbitant amount of income. What can we do next?
Yeah.
And trust me, I know that that's a huge leap. And even the chart on that is, it's an uncharted course. You don't know what life, what is going to happen in your life that's going to get in the way or keep you from doing that, or if it, what's going to transpire to make it happen. And so it's like you got to keep a positive, mindset and absolutely be chasing after those dreams. But it's like, I never know what God's going to introduce into my life that could change those dreams or change that trajectory. And so be it. I'm all for allowing that to.
Nothing's ever a given. I mean, things change, plans change. So
yeah.
But no doubt, I think we're all looking forward to possibly having more than just what we do gathering in this room or on Tuesday nights when we can enjoy our company of our good friends and our family and and those who support us, but also, give them even more to cheer on and hopefully gather more likes and more people that will be entertained by us. So with that being our Christmas wish, I think it's time to move into a controversial topic.
Yeah, because we don't want the show to go too long. We got a very important movie to get to.
Yeah.
The movie that now we know we've seen
That's
in
2
the
weeks
past.
old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our Vices segment. And it's funny because if you did watch our rerun of our episode 300 last week, you'll actually know that we had a Vices segment for that show.
Oh, wow.
So we're not doubling up because technically that was a rerun. So this is the start
This
of
is
our...
the true Vices segment.
This is our true
That
Vices
was just
segment.
us having fun.
So,
Quite fun.
just want everybody to know that they
Play
can
it.
enjoy
Play it.
this Christmas season
I'm gonna bask in its
with
glory.
all the Christmas music that they're going to enjoy.
Wow.
Now see, here's my thing. I love Christmas and Christmas music, but you have to intentionally pick something that's overplayed and grating. True.
You don't think this is overplayed?
This will be the last
That's what I
Christmas
said.
song
You had to pick.
listen to.
You said you had to pick something that was intentionally bad. And most people will love it because it's Mariah
No,
Carey.
I think everybody is on the same page with this.
Not well. There are the ones that are die hard. I love Mariah
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
This is perfect. This is great
Are you
music.
not entertained?
We're probably going to get flagged for this.
Killing me, Smalls.
Definitely.
Want a lot for Christmas.
Killing me, Smalls.
Nothing else to do.
That actually went along with the song.
All right. Stop the monotony. I'm turning it down.
Thank you.
It's like we got a movie to get
My
to. We don't
ears
want
are
to listen to this
bleeding.
whole
I gotta
song.
wipe them.
Gosh.
Hold on.
Obviously, Vice's segment, too much Christmas music. For one, let's cover the bases first. When should you start listening to Christmas music? 'Cause this is
We're all
a...
going to disagree on
Yeah.
this.
I think we all are.
I'm with the 106.9, life. I'll listen to it November 1st. I don't care. But that's the thing is I listen to songs I actually like, not Mariah Carey. So
Okay, so but yours is literally
I don't
starting
hate,
at
Yeah, I don't hate. I've already
as soon
listened
as
to
I mean,
some
but they
Christmas
start
November
sometimes
1st.
before.
I've
Is
already
it really
listened-
November 1st?
Yeah, on the
I thought it was
radio.
even before Halloween sometimes.
I don't
No,
think
they
I don't
start
think it's
November
yeah.
1st
But-
on the radio.
And I have listened to it. Yeah,
That's too
already.
soon.
I've played it on the radio. It's not it's Christmas. It's the
Because
spirit.
here's my problem. Even with the millennia that we've had on this earth, there's still a finite amount of Christmas music that is actually decent and worth listening to.
Well,
And
I, mean,
I
it's
feel
a-
like the ones they
know
put on
people
the
aren't gonna
radio,
listen to it 24/7. So it's
Well,
just it's a repeat of various.
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, people do, but it is a repeat of various. I mean, you have
That's
literally
my issue.
you have hundreds of Christmas songs played by different bands and
Right.
different artists, so it's
Yeah.
the same songs.
You could literally listen to 106.9 for an hour, and in that hour, you'll hear the same Christmas song 3 times
Yep.
by 3 different artists.
Yes.
And that's why I
Oh.
don't listen to it on the radio.
see, I was going to beg to differ. I was going to say a lot of times you'll hear the stuff that's not well known, like later in the evening when they need to fill it and they've gotten the rights for it, so they'll play it. But then I think of songs that are well known by artists, and they'll rehash those. And
Yeah,
so
they
it will be the popular Jingle Bell Rock that you've heard 50 times, and it'll be 3 different versions of the most popular 3 different versions.
But I don't feel
and they'll
like
replay that 50,000
Normally,
times.
if I turn on that station, I don't hear the same song or the same version of a song within the amount of time I'm listening to it. I might, if I turn it on one day and then 3 days from now turn it on, hear the same exact song. But if I'm listening to it for about an hour or 20 minutes driving, I don't feel like I hear a repeat of Christmas music. But I tend to.
that's why I just use my iPhone.
But that's
anyway.
what I'm saying. I don't
need the radio.
I don't really tend to listen to 106.9, but once or twice, just because they're there.
But
They're
we're
there.
using that as the benchmark simply because
I
they
create
start
my
November
own,
1.
I create
Yeah.
my own Christmas playlist.
Well,
And that's
Sean,
I
what
listen
about
to.
you?
So yeah, for me, and this year is an exception, and it's we got it. We moved. We're in a new home. It's a a bigger home, so there's more decorating that needs to be done than we would usually do. So we went out and bought some new decorations for the new house, and we were like, once we got home, it was like, why don't we just go ahead and put this crap up? So we started a week early. Normally, Christmas in our home is not until the day after Thanksgiving. Everybody else is out being stupid, trying to get stuff on Black Friday. We're at home listening to Christmas music and decorating, and that's when my wife will start playing Christmas music nonstop on the radio, and I usually have kind of this week to
prepare
to get the last bit of Def Leppard and Motley Crue and even for King and Country, whatever I'm going to be listening to, I can get that in before the Christmas music starts. I am not a fan of hardly any Christmas music, maybe 5 songs total that I'm willing to listen to and enjoy. It's not a bah humbug thing. It's just I'll go ahead and just say Christmas music and contemporary Christian music. There's
very little.
There's enough good songs that I can count on 2 hands, and the rest of them are just, like I said before, it's repeats of the same song. How many times can you get one band to play 10,000 Reasons? How many times can you get one band to play? Well, I'm just saying, if with Christian music, if Chris Tomlin does it,
that one I can't stand.
If Chris Tomlin does it,
I hate that song.
Yeah, it's like there's 10 different bands.
My mom and sister love that song.
What is that song?
Mary, did you know?
Oh yeah, Mary, did you know?
It's just, here's the thing.
I just
and
remember.
We all know that
hold on.
Mark, what's his name, is the only one that does that song justice. The guy who wrote it.
It was good when it came out, but it became an overplayed.
So many
I
different
just
people that play
remember
it.
going to a Christmas Eve service one year back at my old church, and there was this woman who had a solo, and she sang that song. And she got up there and she goes, "Mary, did you know?
Oh yeah,
that's your baby boy."
Oh no,
I started doing that,
I'm
and
out.
I was just like,
that's when I get my phone out and start looking at my phone.
Here's the thing: I don't hate that song. I hate a lot of versions of that song.
It's a
because
good
it did
song,
become overplayed.
but it is overplayed,
Yeah.
most Christmas music and Christian music alike.
It is,
and that's why it's like. A song comes out and I love it, but after I've heard it 12 times a day, then I'm just like, I hate this song now.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And I think that's the difference, because I listen to Christmas music on my own terms. Like I said, I have my own Christmas playlist. I pick what I want, because I do like Christmas music and I love Christmas.
Same.
But it's not one of those things that, if it's forced on me and it's the same terrible, overplayed trite.
Here's the thing. I don't mind after on November 1, I'm still reeling from, I would say even a week after Halloween. I don't mind walking into a store and I'm hearing it on the radio. I don't mind flipping through the channels on the rare occasion that I even flip through the radio stations. Yeah. But ultimately, I'm with you, Sean. It's got to be the week of Thanksgiving, if that. And usually it's when I'm starting to decorate. Like sometimes I'll do it like the night before Thanksgiving because I'm still single. So it's like I'll either do it, like tonight I did it just because we had to get ready for the show.
Yeah, sure.
But it's funny because it's like, I'm still in the same boat of I love Christmas music much more than I love contemporary Christian music.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that I favor. Yeah. However, there is still a finite amount that I do like. And even the amount that I like, it's enough that will last me the whole season if I don't start too soon. Like, I'm just not one of those. Of course I was when I was younger. I loved going. I mean, heck, my parents and I and my family, we would get in the car and we'd go actually driving through neighborhoods to look at the Christmas lights and listen to Christmas music. And I freaking
everybody's family did that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have fond memories of listening to Mannheim Steamroller, and also listening to,
Michael Bublé. Not when I was a kid, but I do like his Christmas album.
It's all right. It's okay. He's more contemporary than I'm like, I like the older classics more so.
No. He doesn't beat Perry Como.
Or, gosh, who's the one we listened to? Johnny Mathis. I love Johnny Mathis.
I'd still pick Perry Cuomo, but Johnny Mathis is good.
But it's like, there's definitely classics that I love, but I can't start too soon. And honestly, I'm like, it has to be done.
In July. I don't care.
No, I can't. No way.
I'm always got the Christmas spirit going, but it's the thing. I don't force it on other people. It's like,
that's the best way to put it. But to me, I do think the sentiment, other than just when it starts,
I do what makes me happy. I don't care about the rest of you.
Wow, peace on earth. That's how you get it. Right?
I'm a leftist in that way. when it comes to Christmas.
That's why
what
you
makes
were-
me happy.
You're not the tyrant of our lives. Thank you, Keith. But no, I also do think there's a fine line between not only when it starts, but also there is way too little compared to how. I mean, to me, it's just way too little music to fill that amount of time for it to be playing endlessly.
Right.
Well,
Like I can listen during the Christmas season. I can listen to Christmas music, but I can also listen to other music, not just Christmas. Some people only listen to Christmas during the Christmas season.
What I do think,
And it's like, no, I like it when I'm feeling in the spirit. And honestly, there's been Christmas movies or Christmas albums. Heck, even Rudy is not a Christmas movie, but it takes place during Christmas and during winter because it's fall football.
Yep.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, I love the soundtrack.
Yep.
And it's a movie that I can watch and enjoy, and I can enjoy that soundtrack, and I'll listen to the soundtrack.
there's just movies that put you in a happy mood that I watch, even if they're not Christmas movies, like he's like Rudy, that you might watch around the season, just because they do.
Mom
make you
and
happy.
the Stand.
I always watch the Rocky movies around Thanksgiving because why I don't know, but they're movies that are feel good that make me happy, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch some of the Rocky movies just for the heck of it. So there's just some movies that you just kind of get into that niche of watching seasonally. Not The Stand. I do love that your mom watches that
I
every
don't
year.
know why.
That's an odd one,
Yeah.
but still, it is. I get the reason because it's a movie that you can put on for 3 hours
While
or
you're
4 hours
decorating.
While you're decorating,
And it is good versus evil. True. I mean, it's like, all right.
I mean, usually when I'm decorating, I have the Peanuts or
Yeah,
the
Christmas.
Muppets playing in the background.
Christmas is about good, winning. So,
Yeah, that's right.
I like it.
That's right. I like it too. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Red Moon Podcast.
I think it was a nice kickoff to the holidays.
it was. We got
Yeah.
3 more of these babies coming. Even the week of New Year's.
Your dog just went to the bathroom.
On the no.
No, I mean she went in the
Like-
bathroom.
Oh.
Oh,
I just
that's
think it's
fine.
funny. She's using the potty. She's probably sitting on the toilet right now. I just can't see it.
It's got a newspaper. She loves that. Or actually, it's a magazine. So she doesn't like
reads
the
the
newspapers.
magazines?
Yeah,
She likes them.
she likes Esquire. I don't know
Esquire.
why. It's weird. Alrighty, guys,
Thought
that's
she
going to
was
do it for this episode of the Red Moon Podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Of course, we got 3 more episodes for this Christmas season, but you can like, share, and subscribe on all of our social media accounts right there at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
Red Moon Book, Red Moon Tweet, Red Moon Pics, and of course, just search for Red Moon Productions on YouTube to catch all of it there. And also, you can do that old-fashioned thing that everybody used to do. What is it, guys?
That good old fashioned way.
That electronic mail.
Yeah.
That electronic mail. It's weird.
It's like mail, but digital.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
What
What's
would
the
that?
new old fashioned way? That's what it was.
Oh, there it is.
I was trying to come up with a line
Christmas
for a
song.
You know how,
Christmas
like-
song, but I don't know them
Yeah.
because I hate them. So
You know how like you would normally write an address on an envelope, put the mail in, stamp it, put it. With
You licked
electronic
it.
mail,
You had to lick it,
you don't
too.
have to do any of
Yeah.
that physical stuff. You type in the electronic address.
oh no, I lick it.
You know
before
their
I send it.
email
there you go. Yeah, you're
address.
supposed to.
And well, you lick the computer
I
screen
lick the
before you
computer
click
screen
send.
before I send.
So you
Yeah.
type in your electronic address, and you click send and lick the screen, and it magically goes
What
through
would
the
that
interwebs.
address be?
I think it's something like RMPodcast at RedMoonProductions.com.
Just beautiful. Awesome. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in live next week, Tuesday night, 9 p.m., every single Tuesday, right here on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you all. We'll see you then. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
John Sebastian.
and
Keith Cheatham.
He said his name.
he actually said it.
I'm
wants to
really
go
jacked
see a
up on
movie.
coffee. I feel like I'm just going to blast through the roof right now.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. For more reviews, previous podcast shows, and everything Red Moon, visit our website, redmoonproductions.com. You can also like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for Red Moon Productions, LLC. We'll see you at the movies.